A Fox News alert, the federal government is partially shut down today. It happened at midnight, but it's already being blamed on Republicans by the mainstream media.
CNN says that House bill, for example, to keep the government open while delaying Obamacare was, quote, a move that makes a shutdown more likely. Later, CNN described the bill simply as a, quote, proposal to derail Obamacare. Politico speaks of House Republicans as deciding whether to, quote, careen into a government shutdown. Even as balanced a paper as the Wall Street Journal reported this morning that the, quote, simplest path to avoiding a shutdown would be for the House to immediately pass the Senate funding bill. Well, it would be just as simple for the Senate to pass the House bill and send it to the president for him to sign.
Yeah, but they don't remind you of that. And just check out this newspaper covered today here in the New York City area, the New York Daily News, supposedly fair and balanced, right? I don't think so. So, what do we make of this? Joining us right now from St. Louis is Town Hall's Elizabeth Meineke. Elizabeth, thank you very much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Show's over. Blame the Republicans. They did this darn thing.
Yeah, well, you know, the Democrats keep talking about this like it's a hostage situation, you know, talking about anarchists. But the media is really portraying it like it's a hostage situation because they're neglecting to say that when you have a piece of legislation that you really want, it's very par for the course to attach it to a bill like this. And the bottom line is, if the Senate Democrats had really worked in good faith over the past 4 years to pass a budget, we wouldn't be in this predicament anyway, because the CR funds the government when you don't have a budget to do that.
Sure. And Elizabeth, we kind of got a taste of how the media would portray this with the way they handled Ted Cruz's very long, almost a filibuster.
Oh, yeah, well, someone had a great post on Twitter. They showed the Huffington Post headline from when Wendy Davis had her filibuster, and the headline there was, "Filibuster heard around the world." And the Huffington Post headline for the Ted Cruz filibuster was, "Ted Cruz hijacks the Senate, you know, vows to talk until he can't talk anymore." So it was very indicative of how the media was going to cover the shutdown.
Sure. And all you got to do is pick up your newspaper this morning and examine, there are two parties involved here. You got the Democrats and the Republicans. And it was a failure on the part of the Democrats to negotiate in any fashion for anything to get done. But if you find that in your newspaper today, I'd be amazed, because I looked at 5. I couldn't find it anywhere.
Well, I couldn't find it either. And I think the important thing is the GOP really needs to start fighting back on this narrative. I think Ted Cruz is doing a great job with that. I thought, they sent out a press release yesterday saying that he would donate his salary to charity during the shutdown. And I thought that was great, both from a charitable standpoint and from a PR standpoint. So the GOP needs to learn from Ted Cruz's playbook in this.
Okay. Elizabeth Meineke joining us from St. Louis today from Town Hall. Elizabeth, thank you very much. You're the first one up there in the Gateway City today.
Thank you.
All right. It's now 20 minutes after the top of the hour. What do you think about that? How the mainstream media has already blamed the Republicans? Email us, friends@foxnews.com.